Good afternoon, guys. I just got done replacing one of my control arms, passenger side, on my 2003 Ford Focus 2.3 liter engine, two-door hatchback. And it was a little bit difficult, but I got through it. I've been here for about an hour and a half now. And you know, just gonna show you what you guys need if your Ford Focus 2003 2.3 liter engine is giving you trouble, or you hear clunking when you drive. Alright, so what you're gonna need is a new control arm, which is already installed for me, an 8mm wrench, or you could do an 8mm socket, a 21mm socket, 18mm socket, 15mm socket. I have a 1/2-inch drive ratchet, two actually. Then I have a 3/8 ratchet, and that's the Torx bit, the Starbit T50. You need this pickle fork thing to remove the ball joint, although I didn't use it for mine because it was fairly easy to remove. A Phillips head screwdriver, and then a pry tool or a flathead screwdriver. Oh, and also a gallon of water, which I already finished because it's hot out here in Los Angeles, California in February for some reason. Alright, so right here by the ball joint, that's a 15mm nut, and on this other side, that's where the T50 Starbit is going to go. This one is a little star thing. Alright. Alright, now this one, the bottom one is a 15mm, the top is an 18mm, and the ones behind it, that top one is a 21mm, and this bottom one is an 18mm. That one right there on the left side, that's an 18mm. Is it? No, it's a 21, sorry. It's a 21mm nut, and then an 18mm nut on this side. So my mistake was that I had bought deep sockets, so that's all I had. And with these Ford Focuses, it's very, very tight to work on, so I had to buy separate individual short sockets. So I did. What you can do is use them, return them. I actually borrowed this, so I'm still getting my money back for that. These I already had, that T50. If I'm gonna need it again, might as well keep it, but I should have bought the whole set. Although I am short on money, so you could just borrow it and send it back, say it didn't work or it wasn't the one you needed or whatever. As long as you have the receipt, of course. You can't just walk in there and say, oh, I bought this, and no. So yeah, that's pretty much it. So what I did was I left the ball joint nut and bolt there for last, and I undid the hardest ones, which were that 18mm and that 21mm. Undid these two first, then undid that one on this one, and lastly I removed that. Now, as you can see, this one for whatever reason has this pin right here. Don't know what it's for, but just keep it. That's to uninstall, remove. To install, you do it the opposite way. You want to leave this ball joint for last, tighten that furthest one first, this one second, and for this one just put the bolt in just so it's in place, and then this will be your third nut to tighten, and then this would be your last. Now you also will need jack stands and a jack, and the jack, what you can do after you have both the passenger and driver side on jack stand is when you want to put this inside here, the ball joint inside here, so you can tighten it, use the jack stand to push it close to as far as it can go. Obviously keeping an eye out that you're not damaging the bushing, and you're all set to go. Just put the bolt and tighten the nut. Now if you're having trouble putting in the bolt, don't force it in because you might strip the threads. So just be careful, make sure it sort of, you know, goes in smoothly, and if you have to put a little bit of force, like just using your thumb to push, then do that. But apart from that, then you're good. Alright guys, I'm gonna work on the driver's side. Oh, side note, for the driver's side, that 18 millimeter right here, even if you use a socket, a short socket, this is a transmission pan, it's going to be in the way. So what I suggest is do the passenger side first, move on to the driver's side last, and put the jack with a piece of wood in between right here. This is metal, this is not the oil pan part, and you can just put it there, or you can also put it right here, I believe. I usually do it here, just for it's you know, the center of the engine, excuse me, and it just lifts it up all the way. And then you're gonna just put it in there, put it there when it lift it up a little bit, just so it's snug. And you're gonna go to the top of the hood, and you're gonna remove the battery, negative terminal first, then positive. Then remove the battery completely, and then undo the plastic cover, and then loosen, not remove, loosen the nuts and bolts for the motor mount on the driver's side, just so it gives it some leverage to rise, and then this should be free. It sounds a little bit complicated, I know, take your time, but it works out in the end. So now I'm gonna do this. I'll show you a little bit. It's just difficult because I don't have a stand or anybody else to help me hold the camera, but I'll show you how to do it. All right.